All right, joining us live right now is our guest, Professor Jyothsna Tirunagari, National Spokesperson of the TDP. Ma'am, thanks very much for joining us this evening and helping us decode all the developments that are happening as far as the counting day is concerned and the leads that are coming out. I want to first ask you about TDP. That's really been emerging as the kingmaker as far as the next government is concerned. We're also hearing the Congress, some of the Congress leaders claiming that they are in talks, and of course the TDP chief also congratulated the Prime Minister as well, or the Prime Minister actually congratulated TDP.
Yeah, good evening, and definitely it's a day to remember for us and also for the people of Andhra Pradesh. Yes, Telugu Desam Party has always been a very, we have played a very vital and crucial role in the national politics earlier also. This is not the first time. But here, let me put it very categorically to you that we are a part of NDA, and in Andhra Pradesh, we are forming a NDA coalition government. Telugu Desam Party, Janasena Party, and Bharatiya Janata Party together. An NDA government is to be formed in the state of Andhra Pradesh with highest majorities, what we are saying. And also at the center, also we are going to be forming the government. NDA is going to be forming the government. Clear from our end. So that nobody is talking to us, and we are a part of NDA, so we are not going to be talking to anybody else, I suppose.
Okay, so you're clearly dismissing the tweet that's actually come out from Mr. Jairam Ramesh of the Congress Party. He says that I had raised the issue of the special category status for Andhra Pradesh in 2017 Parliament. I also dispelled the Modi government's false claims that the 14th Finance Commission recommended by the dissolution of the special category status. So he's basically posturing, perhaps some sort of feelers, giving feelers to TDP to perhaps align with it as far as forming the government is concerned in the centre.
See, let me put it in a very, this way. Where was Congress for the past 10 years? Where was Congress? In the state of Andhra Pradesh. See, for us, the state of Andhra Pradesh comes first, Telugu people come first, then the nation for us. Definitely. So in that case, where was Congress for the past 10 years? And even during 2014 to 2019, when special category status was demanded, when it was not done, we actually got special package for the state of Andhra Pradesh, and we delivered. And then on issue-based issues, only we differed from BJP and we came out of NDA. Then we contested alone. But again in 2024 now, when we see that it's the need of the hour for the state of Andhra Pradesh, that an NDA government be formed there, and also at the center. Many a times our Supremo Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu has very clearly mentioned that we share a vision with Modi Garu, and we like the vision with vision of Narendra Modi ji, and how India is placed before the world today. So definitely there's nothing to be worried about, or that there should be no speculations as such. We are a part of NDA, and we are going to be a part of NDA, and we are forming government at the center.
So you are basically saying that you were a part of the NDA and you will continue to be part of the NDA and will not looking at jumping ship like is being speculated for some of the other allies of the NDA. I want to finally ask you one final question, ma'am, and this is just a confirmation on what we've largely till now spoken about. Do you think, the BJP over UPA is or the India alliance is in a better position to negotiate with you?
See, I think we are more concerned about the issues of Andhra Pradesh and the development of Andhra Pradesh. So whatever is good for Andhra Pradesh and whatever is deserving for Andhra Pradesh, we would fight on those issues, we would deal with those issues, and we would definitely negotiate on those issues. Negotiations are not for par for us, negotiations are for the state for us.
All right. I'll come back to you, ma'am, but let me also go across to our other guest who's joining us this evening, Salem Dharanidharan, who's from the DMK. He's, of course, a spokesperson from the DMK. Sir, your thoughts on this is really concerned, and of course, we are still in conversation with the TDP spokesperson, Ms. Jyothsna, who was saying that they are only looking at allying with the BJP, with the NDA in the center, not really looking at any other alliance partner.
Hi, firstly, thank you for having me in the show. My name is Salem Dharanidharan. But see, I think all those things comes later. But right now, what we are focused is to get the final count, because in a lot of seats, we are trailing by less than 1,000 or 2,000 votes with versus the BJP, not in Tamil Nadu, but in the whole of India. So we want to secure those seats and probably reduce the NDA tally to less than 260, 250, and only BJP tally less than 210, 220. And I strongly believe that many of the BJP allies are with them only because of the threat issued by the BJP using ED, income tax, and CBI, and which is why even the NCP had to break away and so on and so forth. So we believe many such factions might come in. But firstly, I would also like to say that DMK won today 40 out of 40 in Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry, and that is testament to the Dravidian model of inclusive government that was provided by our leader, and it's also testament to the governance and the leadership style of our Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. And so I think before the elections, during the elections, and even until as recent as the exit poll, no one gave us a chance. But now we have a big chance of forming the government. And I think this clearly proves that people have voted for it in spite of non-partisan, in spite of partisan behavior of many institutions of this land, including the Election Commission of India. In spite of that, we have come with a high chance of forming the government. And if, in fact, if all the institutions have been acting in a non-partisan manner, I'm very certain that BJP would have been reduced to less than 150 seats. See, I think this election has proved one thing, particularly in Uttar Pradesh, where the election was fought on Ayodhya, Ram Temple. See, temples are important, religion is important, but never mix that with politics. That's what we do in Tamil Nadu. DMK never mixes politics with religion, though we have done a lot for temples and every religion that that are in Tamil Nadu. People want to hear development. How much can people listen to hate speeches and other non-development related speeches? People need jobs. Why did BJP majorly lose those seats? Because there was a huge problem of unemployment, very high inflation. The consumption index in rural areas have remained stagnant since 2019. And the real wages of people of the bottom 60% have reduced. So when people's quality of life has not improved, and nothing done on education, nothing done on healthcare, I do not think any people will re-elect. And if the organization institutions have been non-partisan, I am very certain that BJP's and NDA's number would have been less than 140 or 130. I think this is a lesson for all. Focus on development, focus on people, don't do hate speeches. It can maybe help you win one election by luck or fluke, but you can't fool people because people are very smart. They know what they're voting for. And which is why this is the fourth election DMK is winning in Tamil Nadu, because we focused on development. We never focused on any hate speeches, nothing related or polarizing people. It was only based on giving inclusive growth, making sure that no one
also says that they have focused these past 10 years that they have been ruling the country. They have focused on development. They've focused on the vision that the Prime Minister really has for Viksit India 2047. In fact, we've also seen the GDP numbers, the robust GDP numbers, which came in just ahead of the counting day, as well as lots of other factors, including S&P Global as well, actually increasing India's credit ratings from stable to actually positive. And we've seen an influx of global brands like Apple, Micron, and several others. They're looking to start shop in India. They're looking to start business in India, looking at the kind of growth that the country has really seen, which has emerged as a bright spot in the global economy. So BJP, of course, is saying that they have focused on the plank of development, and that too inclusive development. But why do you think, what could be the other reason? Because, the Prime Minister had made several campaigns, several speeches as far as South India is concerned, and particularly the state of Tamil Nadu as far as that is concerned. But why do you think, there's been such a huge gap between what was projected and what the numbers or the trends are actually showing?
Simple. I think what you speak in rhetoric is completely different to what you do, right? You can say whatever you want. You can say, I want development. You can say, I want a secular government. But what you do actually matters. GDP numbers of any country, even the poorest.
This is not rhetoric. You can go to S&P's website and check for it. You can also check the latest GDP figures. You can also check the number of brands that are coming.
See, I know economics. No, I get economics very well. But what is per capita GDP of India? In 2004 to 2014, per capita GDP of India increased by 2.7 times. From 2014 to 24, per capita GDP of India increased by only 1.3 times. Because of that, Bangladesh, which was $1,000 per capita GDP in 2014, and India was $1,600, overtook us in 2022 because they increased by 2.7 times. Their GDP, per capita GDP is now $2,700 and India is stagnating at 2,300. Any GDP number will increase. But I can give you many other reports in which they have said India's growth is not gone. I can give a report from the International Labour Organization, from an UN affiliate organization, which says that youth unemployment is a big problem in India. The report came in 2024. Major economists, including Nobel laureates, have said demand in Indian economy is a problem. The wages of the poor is reducing. I think, see, credit rating is one thing, right? But in economics, you can't just take when you're analyzing the macroeconomic metric, you just can't take one metric and say, see, this metric has improved. You have to holistically see, right? GDP of any country will increase. The numbers will keep increasing. But how many times has the GDP increased? In fact, under UPA, GDP increased by 5 times. Now it's increased by 3 times. The absolute numbers has increased, and the absolute numbers will continue to rise. But the question is not that. The question is, how have you done compared to the previous 10 years? You have not done that. The unemployment rate has doubled in comparison to 2004 to 14. Why? And major problem of the Indian economy was demand. The demand was low. Why was the demand low? Because the purchasing power of the bottom 60-70% of the population was reducing. Why was the purchasing power and the saving reducing? Because you increase prices of basic commodities such as fuel, diesel, and gas cylinder and other essentials through taxes. And then you gave tax soaps to corporates. But that is supply side intervention. But if there is no demand, why will corporates build more factories, provide more employment? Even the biscuit consumption in this country had reduced even before COVID was announced. Two-wheeler sales, if you remember, 6 months before COVID was 2-decade high. I mean, the rate of two-wheeler sales or the four-wheeler sales, the economy was sluggish because it was mismanaged. And because of that, there's unemployment. And also spending in terms of per capita GDP on education had reduced, on research and development was reduced. Even the 100-day scheme, the Manrega scheme, the funding as a percentage of the GDP has drastically reduced. So you have not done or taken steps to improve the economy and improve the lives of the bottom 70% of the population. Economy is not just 1% of the population. GDP growth, right, will increase. But it depends on, is it a holistic GDP increase? How are the bottom 50% doing? How are the bottom 70% doing? It is not about just the corporates. I'll give you an example. The inequality in India is high. Thomas Piketty, in his World Inequality Lab, reported that inequality in India right now is higher than that was during the British era. And 21 Indians, currently the richest Indians, hold as much wealth as the bottom 80 crore population. Is this desirable for any country? No, nowhere in the world such high levels of inequality is desirable. In basic economics, you may say some amount of inequality is needed for a country to grow, exactly, but not high levels of inequality. A country with high levels of inequality will fail. You have seen a lot of African countries and South American countries with humongous crime rates simply because of very high inequality. And that's where India is heading. And that's why there's results. And if the institutions have been non-partisan.
Interject you here and also ask your views on the India alliance. I mean, exit polls were not really expecting these kind of trends, these kind of numbers to come in. But the India alliance and its members have done rather well and have exceeded expectations. I want to understand your views on that, given that I think there was a lot of confusion about who will lead as far as the India alliance is concerned, who will be their prime ministerial candidate, will there be unity in all of these India alliance parties or not? And of course, many were saying that this is really an alliance of convenience. Allies who are together in one state are different in the other. So there was that sort of conjecture, that sort of speculation that was building up as far as the India alliance is concerned. But your thoughts on the numbers that the alliance has managed to cobble up?
You call NDA as ND alliance, or you call it NDA? We call it NDA, right? So why do we call India's India alliance or Indi, right? The A is in NDA and A in India, same for the alliance. So I think that was a very wrong approach. See, in 2004, the CPM and CPI were in alliance with the Congress in the UPA, and they were in the opposition in Kerala, right? They were at the loggerheads in Kerala and in West Bengal. But we got one of the best governments in 2004 to 2009. In fact, India was one of the few countries to even escape the global downturns then. When the global financial crisis happened, one of the few countries to escape it was India. And India's, as I explained earlier, the GDP per capita GDP increased by 4. In 2009, the unemployment was nearly more than half of what it is currently. So I don't think these things matter. And I think India alliance is an ideological alliance. Ideological alliance for what? To India for India.
All right.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.